Hello everyone, welcome back to prep analysis for WBL Week 5. We are up against, I believe, the Pittsburgh Double Shocks, which seems to be quite an interesting matchup to say the least. They've got the likes of Serena, Garchomp, Iron Crown, Terra Iron Crown actually, Darkrai, Skeledirge, Florges, Minior, Grafaiai, Heracross with Terra, Vaporeon, and Azelf. I'm not gonna lie, I completely ignored the bottom two because I figured they just wouldn't show up. Azelf into Overquill just didn't really seem that great, and Vaporeon I just completely forgot existed, I cannot lie. And Minior too, and the Lemur, I already forgot the name of. Grafaiai, because they're just not great Pokemon, I can't lie. So I mainly focus the prep around the top 6, Heracross, and Heracross. So here is what we came up with. Lightning round, because I don't have a lot of time. So up first, we've got Makoto, aka Spectrier, holding a Colbur Berry this week with Nasty Claw, Draining Kiss, Shadow Ball, and Psychic. So I lied when I said I didn't prep for Grafaiai. I figured if he'd be funny, or if he was trying to play a funny, he would bring this guy with like Assault Vest or something to deal with Spectrier. He didn't, so it ended up being just Psychic was a wasted move slot, but it is what it is. Draining Kiss is for Darkrai, and Shadow Ball is for everything else. He does not have a normal resist outside of Darkrai and Grafaiai, so if I get a plot up, I should hopefully be able to claim quite a few Pokemon, which is pretty nice. That's really all there is to Spectre this week. Colbur Berry is just to live a Darkrai hit, or be able to get a setup Nasty Claw off on it. Next, we've got Anne, the ALOMOMOLA, holding an Assault Fist this week. Apologies. Flip Turn, Mirror Coat, Aqua Jet, and Icy Wind. This Pokemon is just the GOAT for walling special attackers, which there are there are so many of them. You've got Skeledirge, Darkrai, you've got Florges, you've got kinda Minior, but not really. I didn't really consider him while making this set. And the likes of Iron Crown. Iron Crown is actually the reason we have Icy Wind on this set, because if he isn't summoned, you just see him, we can lower his speed, and then we can go like close combat with already spoiled the next Pokemon 2 after this, but we can go for close combat with Zapdos Galar, or go Spectrier or something like that. It gives us way more outs if he's slower. And Flip Turn is just for general pivoting. Again, I completely forgot Vaporeon Water Absorb existed. Aqua Jet is for avenging Darkrai, revenging a very low HP Crown. And Mirror Coat is if any special attacker dares touch ALOMOMOLA that is not named Darkrai, you are dying basically. And that's about it. As for our next Pokemon, we've got the GOAT, Morgana, our current kill leader, with Heavy Duty Boots, Roars, Terra Starstorm, Rapid Spin, and Dark Pulse. So in the event that Iron Crown is indeed set up sub, we have Roar Terrapagos to kind of just bail us out. Terra Starstorm and Dark Pulse just kind of hit everything on his team. And Rapid Spin just to get rid of hazards, maybe boost our speed if we wanted to sweep, but we don't really have that much sweep interest with Terrapagos this week, more so just support capabilities, hence we're not really that invested into special attack. EVs are always secret, at least until playoffs or finals at least. I tend to not reveal EVs just in case, you never know. Anyway, that's about that. On to our last three, we've got Overquill, Akechi the GOAT, with Rocky Helmet, Intimidate, Toxic Spikes, Barbarage, and Taunt. So T-Spikes are just very nice this week because his grounded poison is Grafaiai, and again, I kind of just expected this Pokemon to not show up. I respected it with Spectrier because I figured he would literally just stop me from winning if he brought it, but when it comes to Akechi, if he doesn't bring a Grafaiai, Toxic Spike just basically automatically wins me the game. So there's that. Spikes are also just very nice because his only Pokemon that's not touching the only two Pokemon that are not touching the ground are Minior and Azelf. So everyone else is taking 12%, then 18%, and 25% if we manage to get 1, 2, or 3 respectively. And Taunt is for, I believe, Crown CM if it's early, for Slack Off and Will-O-Wisp on Skeleturge, for, I think that's the main one, and Wish on Vaporeon, but I don't think that will come into play that much, I can't lie. I think I'd just rather click the hazard button. Anyway, and Barbarage just to do damage. But that's about it for Akechi this week. On to our last two, we've got Ryuji, once again, holding, who would have guessed, a Choice Band, and Close Combat, Brave Bird, U-Turn, and Knockoff. I think I've brought this set like 3 weeks out of the 5 I've played. It's just, you know, very solid. CC and Brave Bird hit most things in the game. U-Turn for general pivoting, and Knockoff to hit those pesky ghosts that try to switch in, such as Skeleturge in this case. And yeah, that's really, you can't get simpler than this, man. And then last one, we've got Yusuke, or Tornadus Therian, rocking Terra Ghost this week with Assault Vest, Terra Blast, U-Turn, Bleak Windstorm, and Focus Blast. So reason for ABE is just to lift special hits from Darkrai and Skeleturge, but most importantly, and the reason it's here kinda, is for Iron Crown. So I try to kinda have different like types, you know, Terra Blast Ghost and Focus Blast. Fighting and Ghost is notorious for being really difficult to switch into. Bleak Windstorm just for the stab, of course, and U-Turn for pivoting. So I figured this would cover a lot of Crown's Terras and kind of help me deal with it. As for, you know, checking Darkrai and Skeleturge, as long as I don't Terra, I should be fine. I don't think Darkrai is that incentivized to bring Ice Beam here, as it would rather bring... if he specs, he might be, but or like Scarf, but if he's not, then I don't think he has much space in the move department, because he wants Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, insert move for Tinkaton. I don't know what moves Darkrai gets for Tinkaton. Does it even get anything for Tinkaton? That would have been interesting to know. Anyway, yeah, we already have Aloe for most of the special attackers, so this was just kind of a secondary option. Both Regen can just U-Turn and Flip Turn into each other for infinite health, infinite chip. But yeah, that's really about the prep for this week. I won't hold you here for too long, because again, I don't have a lot of time today. But yeah, let's move on to the game, shall we? Hello everyone, welcome to WBL Week 5. This is actually my second time recording this, because the first time I played it with the music in the background, and not only that am I not supposed to do that, but also it was like ridiculously loud, so it wasn't one of those things that I could like maybe muffle or deal with it for a week. So, you know, this is the second time we're doing it. Based iPad recording, am I right? As you can probably notice, we're playing on Showdown. My capture card died for week 5, so my opponent was nice enough to let us play on Showdown. And also the Go, Matt, got me a new capture card, which is also our opponent this week, which is kind of funny. Which will be arriving for week 7, and then for week 6 we did record, or a friend lent me their capture card, so we've got that. So it is just this week that we're playing on Showdown. But yeah, let's make do. Our opponent brought Florges, Skeleturge, Garchomp, Iron Crown, Vaporeon, and Darkrai. First thoughts I got on this game were Torn is probably our best lead, because he outspeeds everything for the most part. And the one thing that doesn't is Darkrai, which is the thing he's here to kind of deal with, because he's Assault Vest, like very Spadef. So yeah, we're Terra Ghost also. They're Terra Electric Crown. Reason we are Terra Ghost into, you know, the Darkrai check is to spin block, because I believe they only had one spinner, but it didn't even bring the removal, and they didn't even bring a grounded poison. So my priority in this game quickly became, as you'll see, to get Toxic Spikes up with Overquill. So they lead sub Darkrai, of course, and we reveal Focus Blast, and we break this up. So now that it's revealed to be sub, I go, okay. So I don't think, if they start spamming sub, I don't want to just miss Focus Blast eventually and give them like a free turn to Nasty Plot or whatever. So I calc it and notice that Terra Blast will break stuff no matter what. So I start going for that without terraing. As Floor just comes in. Since I don't really want to stay on this, we go on U-turn, we go into Aloe, who is Assault Vest, of course, so it takes minimal damage, does nothing, basically. I go for a flip turn and completely forget that this silly little fella existed, and prep, I completely overlooked Vaporeon because it was at the bottom of the sheet, so I just ignored it entirely. But yeah, this does stop us from flip turning, which is not the greatest, I won't lie. So I'm forced to hard switch into Overquill. I figured try to go for T-Spike, and if they flip turn, they take Helmet Chip as they go Garchomp, so I can't really stay in here because I am not Shuka, I am Rocky Helmet, so I will die to Earthquake most likely. If they have like enough attack investment, even if I'm pretty defensive. So I go Torn, figured not risk it, as Earthquake does indeed come in. Now, I believe I go for a Bleak Wind here, which I don't agree with. I also don't Terra. I don't Terra because I don't want to be weak to Dark Pulse. Since he didn't reveal Ice Beam, I'm pretty sure I can just stay Terra Flying and be fine. We go for a Bleak Wind. We don't get the speed drop. It is what it is. To not take Rough Skin damage, I use Hard Switch into Aloe as he Dragon Claws. Now, in this position, I have a special move for Garchomp, which is Icy Wind. Figured if Vaporeon came in, we could still hit it with it. Apologize for the microphone sound, by the way. I'm using a different one for this recording if it sounds a little funny. Or if there's like a weird like sound. That just kind of happens when I move around. Anyway, we do this kind of sequence where, Overquill comes in on Vaporeon, he flip turns into Garchomp. I think it's the third time it happens that we finally do something different, where I hard switch into Gyarados, which I could have just gone Overquill, but it is what it is. I go Gyarados, I U-turn first, as they wish, and I finally am able to get my T-Spike up. So this is huge, because that means this is basically permanent Salt Cure into the entire team, because, it poisons everybody, and that is 12% every single turn. And he does not have a way to remove them, so those are there to stay. We do get burned from Scald, which is okay. Overquill is not meant to be a really offensive Pokemon. It's just here to get hazards off, get Helmet Chip. We get a Spike Up, which is very nice for things trying to switch in. Darkrai comes in, gets poisoned, so that means Sub won't really be a problem anymore. I figured since I'm burned really low and I already got my hazards up, I can just stay in here. We live. And we go for a Barbarage to chip it even more as Akechi does go down. Spectre comes in here, and since Spectre comes in here because we outspeed Darkrai and Draining Kiss kills. But I know he knows this, and I know he doesn't want to give Spectre a free Grimnite boost, so as he switches to Florges, I go for a Nasty Plot. It would have been really smart to have Hex here, because I'm pretty sure Hex killed, or maybe not killed, but it would have done a lot more than Shadow Ball does right here, just 45, as they go for an Alluring Voice. So in this position, I'm like, okay, surely 19 health, surely Draining Kiss kills. I go for it, doesn't kill, does 18%, leaves it at 1 HP, which allows it to go for another Alluring Voice and kills it to Poison, which means I don't get the boost, which is very unfortunate. So now my +2 Crown comes in. I figure, okay, he's probably going to Terra, try to hit me with something to kill me. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. He reveals he is Scarf, actually, which is crazy. I was really expecting setup, but Scarf definitely took me by surprise. So we go Aloe, because, we take no damage from Psychic. And I believe we Icy Wind to just, get some chip on something. No, we flipped her. Never mind. I lied. Me when I spread misinformation. We love to see it. Wish from Vaporeon as we go for another Icy Wind. Figured it could flip turn out or something, because Vaporeon doesn't really threaten Aloe in any sense. So I just keep clicking Icy Wind. We drop its Crown Speed, so it's not Scarfed anymore, as it goes for a Volt Switch. Now, here's a big turn, right? He goes for that, and I reveal, since I'm AV Aloe, of course, Mirror Coat. So this puts Vaporeon on a very specific, you see how it's at 11%? So being at 11% means if it switches out, it will die to spikes if it comes back in. So it cannot switch unless it gets a wish off. With poison, it would die, but it has leftovers. So go for an icy wind, it does 2%, meaning after lefties and poison, it is left at 3. So it is I believe it was a 50% roll to kill. And if we don't kill, Vaporeon lives. If it kills, well, Vaporeon's gone, and now we can flip turn for free. Go for an icy wind, and we get a crit, which definitely made the roll easier, like guaranteed the kill. But I'm pretty sure it was a 50% roll, so it is still lucky, but I'm not sure how lucky we got. Darkrai comes in here. We should reveal Aqua Jet, which is pretty nice. That scores Aloe a second kill as Garchomp comes back in. I could have stayed in there. I don't know why I didn't. I could have just Icy Winded. But we switched to Gyapdos because it's safe. You know, Earthquake doesn't do anything to the flying type. I thought I was faster. I don't know why I thought I was faster in my brain, but I was not. So they go for Thunder Fang. They miss, luckily, as we go for a knockoff, and we killed the Garchomp. I don't think we would have died to the Thunder Fang, but it would have definitely left us very low. So I do apologize for the miss, as I did in the game too. Skeleturge comes in as we go back to Aloe, because there's no point in staying in with Gyapdos, because we're not going to kill it. It's going to burn us. It's going to get a free Torch Song, what have you, right? So Aloe is always safe here. He goes for a Will-O-Wisp. He misses, unfortunately for him. Which means it's a free flip turn as he goes into Crown. We flip turn and we go into Torn. We don't have the most amount of HP, but it's still pretty good. I expect him to Terra here, because of course he doesn't... Or he wants to hit me with super effective for Terra Blast, because he is revealed to be Terra Electric, right? So I figure I should Terra 2. And I believe I misclicked here. Yeah. I was supposed to click Terra Blast, but I clicked Bleak Wind Storm, because in my defense, Bleak Wind Storm, which is a flying type move, and Terra Blast Ghost have like the same color. It's crazy. So yeah, I clicked Bleak Wind Storm on accident. We don't even get the speed drop. So I got Terrapagos to salvage the situation. Since we take literally 0 damage, 15, which means after Terra Shell we're taking 30. With crit, I believe it's like 45-ish to 50. So we live in a crit, right? So I figure let's go for a Dark Pulse here in case he switches. And this also, I believe, 2-hit KO's Crown, so we should be fine. And we do indeed get the read on the Skeleturge switch. We go Aloe on the Poison Tick, which gives Aloe a 3rd kill. And then now that Iron Crown is the last Pokemon, he goes for Terra Blast, doing 47. And if you learned anything from Vaporeon, that means the funny move. There you go. Isn't that so fun? Alrighty. Thank you guys for watching. Again, sorry this is on Showdown, not the usual, but it is what it is. This puts us at 4-1, which locks us for playoffs guaranteed, which is pretty nice. We've got 2 more weeks versus Godbear, the Goat, and Lily. And then it's off to playoff season. So we'll see how we do there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one.